Thomas, how is it going in Grahamstown today? Is it as cold as in Gordon's Bay or not?
Today is a stunning day over here. I walked to work and I walked with my short sleeve. So it's an exceptionally beautiful day here in Grahamstown.
You walk to work. Man,
I love walking.
yes, I know. And you love running without people chasing you. I've also realized. Um, if you
Yes.
see me running, don't worry about me. Get your gun ready because there's somebody behind me trying to kill me. But anyway, um, again, as usual, I digress. So today's topic is Sarel van der Merwe. How did I get Sarel van der Merwe out of um, my book? Uh, there's of course a reason, and you know the main reason. Tell me your recollection of that particular day.
Okay, before Sarel van der Merwe, for the people that didn't know, he used to be a race car driver from Port Elizabeth. And if I remember correctly, he drove these big flat Audis and he was very quick. He was a well known racing driver. And what I remember is me and you taking wedding photographs, which was like extremely stressful. It was stressful for a couple of reasons. The one was we didn't have autofocus. We actually had to manually focus our cameras. We didn't have digital. We had to put the film in and make sure the film speed was set right, and that the film caught up in the sprocket, because you could take a whole wedding and your film is still sitting inside its little
Yep,
canister.
yep.
And so that was like one of the stresses. But the other stress is, so at the studio where the bride was filmed, um, we worked for Graham Bridger, and he handed us over to the bride, and then he'd say, "Listen, here, Leon Krokamp is your photographer. Leon, this is your bride, and you're going to be at that church first, because you're going to get out of your car, run, and as the bride steps out, you're going to take a photograph. And then you have to quickly run in and find out from the dominee, is it all right to take photographs in the church?" Some would allow it at that time, and some would say, okay, with flash or without flash or whatever. So you had to do all these arrangements. But the biggest problem is, me and you drove little Toyota Sprinters, and Sarel van der Merwe had his big Mercedes. And so I can say, yes, I know a great racing driver, because my friend Leon Krokamp beat Sarel van der Merwe hands down that day. I can't remember the specifics. Can you? I just know you beat him hands down.
Thomas,
What was
I
the? What,
did beat him hands down, but in his defense, I mean, he was and still is my hero. He is a great racing driver, and he made a name for himself in rallies and even on the track at Kailami. You know, he drove these rally cars, um, but when he was on the Kailami racetrack, he was actually known as Sideways Sarel. In those days, drifting a car around the corners were accepted tactics. It did lose you time. So nowadays, um, it's almost a sin to do drifting, although Max Verstappen has been applying it lately, drifting around corners to gain time. But okay, how did I win or get Sarel van der Merwe? Simple. I told him, I do not know where this specific church is. And Thomas, you know, we we
Did
knew,
you did you use sorry, did you use Google Maps?
my friend, we didn't even have cell phones then. So Google Maps was a concept that Mark Zuckerberg, in actual fact, if I think about it, Mark Zuckerberg was probably in his, I mean, he was still wearing diapers if he actually even existed then. So Google Maps, etc., didn't exist. However, I remember telling Sarel very clearly, I do not know where this particular church is. And I know every church in Pretoria, most churches in Boksburg, Benoni, Joburg, I knew where they were. But this particular one, I didn't know. So allow me to be able to follow you in your SL 500 Merc, in my 1600 Toyota Corolla. And so we get on the highway and gone is Sarel van der Merwe. I said, okay, this is how it's going to be. But okay, I drive down the highway, man, and there is this Merc standing on the side of the road with its bonnet open, Sarel van der Merwe in his suit, peering over the beauty of this Merc engine. I mean, what other reason would you have to open your Merc's bonnet to? I mean, you would obviously want to just look at the beauty of this engine. But as it turned out, it's because the Merc stopped working. I parked right behind them, and after some discussion, the bride looked at me and she said, "Oom, gaan jy my kerk toe vat?" Ek sê, "Yes, of course, my girl." And she said to Sarel, who is the actual oom, and she said, "Sorry oom, maar ek moet by die kerk kom. I need to be there in time for my wedding." And she piled herself into this old rusted Corolla. And she said, "Go there, go left, go right." En daar gaan ons. And
So jy was soos 'n ridder, maar nie 'n ridder op 'n wit perd nie. Jy was 'n ridder op 'n wit donkie wat daar
man,
safe het.
kom ons, let's not go all the way to wit donkey. Let's go to wit Corolla. But
Sounds good enough.
I took the lady to her wedding in time to this unknown church. Well, obviously now I remember where that church is, but she walked down the aisle with her father, and I took the pictures and all that. And once they were married, I walked out of the church to take the pictures of them coming out, and there was Sarel van der Merwe in his Merc. And I just said to him, "I'm sorry, sir. Um, I've been a big fan of yours since early 70s, but today I beat you." En op daai noot,
That's
Thomas, ek kan nou nie sê,
altyd lekker met jou.
sorry.
Altyd lekker om met jou te praat, my vriend. Ek sê altyd lekker om met jou te praat.
Ja, so kom ons stop die gesprek vir nou. En